Hello, everyone, and welcome back to eJuices.com Live. I'm Tina, your social media maverick, and today here with me I have Pete and Megan Mills in our segment, Meet the Mills. So I know that you guys are really excited. We had our 20-year anniversary last week, and we wanted to do some other highlights on people that we work with or that we're very familiar with who are experts in the vape industry. And Pete and Megan have been around in this industry for a while. So I could go on and on about how amazing they are, but instead I'm going to go ahead and roll the intro because we've got 2 hours to do that. Hey guys, we're back. I'm not sure if our audio rolled for you guys, but in any case, it was frozen for us. But let's get into the segment. So, Pete and Megan, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. Thank you for taking the time to come out here with us and to answer all the questions in the live chat for everyone. For everyone who is watching, we are doing a giveaway at the end of the show, you guys. At 7:45, you must be present. So if you enter the giveaway and then you come back at like 7:45 and you don't say in the chat that you're here and we draw you as a winner, that's an invalid entry. But our giveaway is going to be Pete's favorite mod in eJuice and Megan's favorite mod in eJuice. So we're going to get into what those are in a little while. But Megan and Pete, again, thank you for joining us. Thanks for being here. And if you guys could each tell us a little bit about yourselves, kind of how you guys ended up here in Vegas and how you guys ended up vaping in general, just kind of to start us off, that would be great.
Go ahead, you got me into it. Go
All
ahead.
right. Well, how I got involved in vaping was I just initially wanted to quit smoking. I started on a actual device very similar to this one, just a Cigalike. As I started hanging out with more and more people who did vape, just meeting them in the smoking sections of like the store I worked at the time, learned about cloud competitions, and at that point, that's kind of where it all snowballed. And we'll get a little bit deeper into that, but having to have a partner in crime at these cloud comps, my sister was the easiest one to drag along. So
Yeah, he was more amped to quit smoking than I was. He kind of came home one day and was like, "Hey, you should try this," and I was like, "I don't know, I don't know." But after kind of just hanging out with him and meeting all his cool little vape friends back in like 2011 when it wasn't even like cool yet, I don't know. I kind of wanted to get into it, and here we are. Fast forward, what, like 6 years later?
yeah, 6 years
We're
later.
still doing it. We still love it. We still go to CloudCom, so it's pretty cool so far.
Wow. So did you guys officially start? Would you say that you started in 2012 then? Or would you say you started earlier and you didn't get into the scene until 2012?
I definitely started vaping a little bit early before I got into the cloud competition side of it. Meg, as she previously mentioned, was an underage smoker. So being a good big brother, not necessarily the most legal big brother, I did have to try to pitch her as an underage vapor because we all know it's better for you in the long run.
No, I got my first real vape when I was 18.
For your 18th birthday.
Yeah, for my 18th birthday.
Oh, okay.
That was my birthday gift. So
yeah, so you've had what, your first real vape, and you're 22 now, correct?
yes.
So 4 years. That's still pretty good. But you were familiar with everything prior to that earlier on, then. Very cool. And so you guys would say, Pete, what would you say was the official year that you started then?
If we're in 2018 officially now, my first CloudCon 2012. I probably started vaping in 2011.
Ways away. For you guys in the live chat, as you just heard, Pete and Megan have been vaping forever. So if you guys have any questions regarding any past like vape history or any like current stuff that you guys need, whether it's hardware or eJuice questions or any tips and tricks, they're both experts. So feel free to drop them in the chat. So since we're discussing your guys' kind of personal evolution through vaping, I thought it would be really fun to discuss the evolution of vaping in general. So I would like to start at the beginning with you guys, if you're cool with that. So when you both started, and when you both, I guess, became familiar with the industry, I should say, because it sounds like you guys started at different times and you were familiar with it, but you weren't quite immersed in it yet. What type of mods were around when you guys were starting?
At the very beginning, it was before the brand blue was even really popularized. There was kind of like Siga Lights,
Yeah.
but blue wasn't a thing yet. So that's kind of, I guess, when we first got familiar with vaping. That's when you got into it.
Yeah, I think my first actual vaping device was called a Fin. You could pick it up at like a CVS or a Walgreens. It was like a $5.99 piece of garbage. It was all right though. It worked. It got the job done for the most part. And then as it kind of progressed, it got more and more like batteries got more in depth. Um, we actually developed what is known now as, well, not developed, started using what's known as the 510 connection, which actually start letting higher and higher amperage go to whatever the atomizer might be. At the time, it was claramizers.
Okay, so what was the difference when they added that to devices? What did it do to help?
Well, we in the States didn't ever really see the big transition because vaping has been going since the early 2000s overseas in the Philippines as well as in China. So we didn't really have the super hardship of it. We definitely saw most of the evolution in the States as far as like the atomizers go. Like when it really jumped from claramizers into atomizers, what the big difference is. The vapors of today will never truly get, unless you have to punch holes in your cartomizer so you get more juice flow.
Oh my gosh.
You don't know really what's happening now. So these kids that have baby beasts that come right out the box, vaping great
with great airflow,
yeah,
not having to drill holes out.
Shit, yeah, no, it's come such a long way.
Like me in 2016, I started, and there were so many options. I was like, what do I do? Where do I go?
2016, you had the option of adjustable airflow.
Yes, that's true. Yes, we did.
When we started, even like, I mean, I got right into the competition phase of it. So, most of the stuff was either handmade or imported. So it wasn't necessarily what exactly we needed to do. So it's a lot of modifications. Like now today, you see atomizers with, a lot, especially on the tanks, like the adjustable airflow atomizers tend to have a removable top cap. Before, everything was milled out of one piece of copper.
Yep.
So if you wanted a bigger airflow, you had to sit there with a drill press or a file, and hopefully you didn't mess up your $75 purchase.
Wow. So, and the pricing, I'm sure, back then was a lot higher too with the kind of technology.
Yeah, no, I mean, you go back in the day, if you wanted a quality box mod, you were going anything that was, it had to be handmade. No one was doing anything with like the 350, like the SX 350 chip that's used now in the glow. Like there's no high end DNA chips at all. Everything was MOSFET based. So you're going to like people who knew how to make and electronics. They want a premium for their time. So
yeah,
you're paying $500 for a decent mod.
Yeah.
Wow.
Aside from like an Ego C twist or anything like that, I think we paid what, like 300?
Man, no, and that's the thing is a lot of the vape shops in the beginning too didn't understand. These are consumer products to help people profit from.
Yeah.
So, back in the day, you'd see mods that you'd see it, or not even a mod, a vape product that you see at a vape shop now for like $20. People would sell them for like $150, $200.
And you were getting a good deal if you got it for like $150.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
That's been probably the craziest advancement that we've seen.
Yeah.
So, were there any like mods that really changed the game, like along the ways? Say, let's just say, starting in 2011 to now, like, were there like generations of mods that really helped bring it into the new era?
See, you're hitting on some rough topics there. You're gonna pick a fight in this household.
It's fine. Listen, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'll play devil's advocate. If you guys want to fight it out, that's totally okay. I'm more than okay with that.
Honestly, I mean, I have to say this. I think the big turning point in the vapor industry, as far as my aspect of it and my hobby side of it, I love mechanical mods. That's my bread and butter. I still use mech every day of the week. All the guys at the office give me a hard time about it, but that's my bread and butter. So I have to say, the hybrid connection on the Rig V1 with the Roughneck V1 was the biggest game-changing advancement, in my opinion.
Even though I am not on Rig, I would definitely say that the Rig V1, the first like real mechanical mass-produced mod, is definitely what opened up the realm of what vaping is today and having the option to kind of make it your own and not get something so like one piece and kind of hope for the best with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it really, and it even gave, you know, another spin on the whole industry. Like now people look at it like, are you a vapor? Are you a tricker? Or are you a cloud chaser? Like, what are you about? And I think, yeah, it's like, you know, I am a vapor. I vape over smoking. I, you know, trick just kind of out of some fun. I'm definitely not the best tricker, even in this room right now. But I think I got the biggest closet.
Arguable. Don't know about.
Ooh. The first real box mod or the first real.
I would say the first real like box mod probably was produced 2000.
No, the first real box mod, that was even, they were playing with that long before it hit stateside.
Yeah.
We're about 3 years behind the true advancement of vapor.
In the States,
up until recently. Recently with the competition setting, America really drove to the front for, I think, a lot with like the machining capabilities that we have. That's where the industry had a big change too. Yeah. It's like before machinists really got involved in conductivity of the mod was important, the quality of the wiring was important. Yeah. So they definitely didn't have like the heat safety chips. And I mean, even still today, like, you know, how far like tube mods have come. Like back in like the day, like there's no heat vent, any kind of thing from the top. Like it just was what it was.
Well, I know even back like when we first got into boxes, if you heard a whining noise, like you had no safety. Like you were done. You had to throw that thing as far as you could away from you. So like now there's like chips that protect your safety. When back then, if you heard whining, you had to throw your $300 box mod out the window because.
God, imagine like you're in a large place and you hear like a little like ee coming and you're like, am I gonna like blow up? But you're in like a crowded area. Oh my gosh.
It was a lot of guesswork when it came to, you know, the device and maintaining it. Like you had to pretty much, and I think that's the big divide of a lot of new vapors. Like we had to learn everything to maintain our devices. Like, if you didn't know how to solder, like, if your button broke, sorry.
Yeah, you couldn't buy, like, you know, when you go to a website now, you can buy replacement parts. You had to, like, figure out how to make your own replacement part or fix the one that you had.
Oh, my gosh. So you had to kind of become, like, a little bit of a mechanic on your own outside of that. So is that how you guys got so good at, like, building and all that stuff? Because you had to figure it out?
I think so.
I mean, there are much more artistic and much better and quality builders I'd say out there. I'm a clean builder. I think I do a good 20 gauge 5 wrap from what a lot of people know. But yeah, that has a lot to do with the finesse of building. Having, you know, box wiring experience definitely helps when working with finer gauge wire.
So have you guys ever gotten a little like zapped by a circuit or something? Have you guys ever played with fire and got burned, if you will?
I've never been electrocuted by a mod. I've never vented a battery outside of an experimentation. And the only thing I've ever done, I've hooked myself in the finger with wire. Yep. That happens a lot. And then also I've kissed my coils a few times.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. So how did you guys like learn to complete the upgrades? Were there any, you know, like tutorials or anything out there? Or?
Yeah. There was, you know, luckily enough, as the internet age grew and more people got involved in vaping and forums started becoming more popular, and YouTube took a big advance in connecting vapors, and there was a lot of guys putting their, like, kind of helping people get their start on what devices were the good ones to start with and which ones took a little bit more work and how to kind of deal with some of those early problems.
It was definitely a lot of trial and error, though, is figuring out what worked.
And I mean, I gotta give the guy credit. He was, you know, an innovator in the industry, and I mean, he's got a great line out right now. But Rip Trippers was, you know, my original go-to.
Yep. Rip Trippers and Grim for me also. Grim and Rip Trippers for sure.
You know, as I got into like more of like the cloud chasing aspect of it, like Grim Green and Homeboy OC, like those guys were huge influences on me at the beginning of my career. And luckily enough, I actually got an opportunity to meet those guys. You know, we've actually buddies over time, I guess. Just from seeing each other at trade shows so much, you kind of get a rapport.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because you guys kind of have different ends of the spectrum, right? So Pete's out there at the trade shows dealing with vendors and people who own vape shops, and Megan's on customer service talking to the consumer all day. So you guys are like coming from completely different areas, and that has got to be interesting on how you kind of view the industry too. I'm sure that makes you guys kind of view it in different lights, where you guys initially came from kind of the same place where you were vaping and you were going to competitions together. Now you're working in separate aspects of that industry that are completely different target audiences. So
I mean, I think a lot of that has to do with even what we most enjoy about the industry. Like, Megan always had a propensity towards helping people quit smoking and helping people with their products. I've always loved the back end of it. I love chopping it up, talking about brands, getting juice lines going.
Yeah.
I'm, I guess, a big picture guy. I really like the industry as a whole. I like to see what we're doing as independent industry. I think that's the kind of where I went with sales on the wholesale aspect, and where you kind of.
I think customer service is so important to me as a vapor, because when I first started vaping, I was like, no, I did not want to do it. So if I can help one person who's like having an issue with their vape continue to vape, then like it's totally worth what I do. Because I was one of the people who was like, vaping's not going to help, vaping's not for me. But then here we are, flash forward like almost 5 years later.
And you guys are entrenched in it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah,
I can tell you how many vape-related tattoos I think I have at this
I
point.
believe it. And I'm going to take this opportunity to actually show off your guys' Instagrams, if you don't mind. And I'm going to show them off a couple times during the show. But I'll go ahead and show everyone who's watching, if you guys are interested. They've got all of their like setups on there. They've got their favorite eJuices on there. They've got their competition stuff on there. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for you guys. So right here, we've got Megan's. And you can see she's got her set up. She even posted for our 5-year anniversary show last week, which she was on for about 15-minute segment. And you can see kind of all of the different little setups she's got. And you can see that obviously this is something that is a huge part of your guys' life. And then here's a competition photo for you guys if you're wondering like what a cloud blowing competition photo looks like. This is one of them. So her handle is Machine Gun Meg with an underscore if you guys want to go ahead and follow her. Very, very knowledgeable, like I said, and she works in customer service, so if you guys have any questions about vaping, I'm sure she can help you. And I'm going to take it over to Pete's now, so you can see he's got a little bit of a different vibe, but same sort of thing. He's got his setups. He's got his, he's got all of his, like, batteries set out and everything. Let's see if we've got some smoke blowing photos. Do we have any competitions photos on here, Pete?
They're a little bit deeper back. I've been a little bit out of the competition scene a little bit as of late, but they're a little bit deeper in there.
That's okay. I am going to see if I can find them real quick. All right, you guys, so you can see here's like the release tours. You've got everything. He's setting up his wick. You've got his tattoos. So you can see Pete is definitely just as immersed in this, just two different sides of the coin. And his handle is Pistol Pete 702, and he's in sales, you guys. So if there are any vendors watching or something, Pete can definitely help you guys out. Or if you're interested, you have a shop or something, Pete's the guy to go to for sure. So there's their Instagrams, you guys, if you're interested in following them. So for you guys, now that you guys are as seasoned as you are and you've gone through all these different devices, you've learned everything that you've learned, what do you guys, as seasoned vape professionals, if you will, look for in a device now? So if you're looking, I want a new device, what are the kind of features that you look for?
Oh my God.
Yeah, go for it.
So definitely, like if we're going to be talking about non-mechanical things, more of the regulator devices, something definitely that is, has that safety switch that we were talking about, because we did not have that. But, most of the boxes now are going to have the safety switch and everything. Something definitely that's variable wattage, but I also like temp control. So I would also look for something that has some temperature control, just because I do like a warmer vape. So definitely temp control is something I look for. And personally, I don't vape. Like if I'm doing a regulated, I don't go over 100 watts. I usually stick with something like 100 watts or less. That's why I like the AL85, because it's literally everything you need and it only has one battery, but it definitely puts out enough power. I like more batteries, but I definitely prefer less batteries, because I I wear leggings. I don't have pockets. So
I'm on that. I feel you on that, girl. I know that struggle. That's crazy. So you are like, less battery. So you like more of like a flat, easy to carry device sort of thing.
Yeah.
Less
Yes.
mess. Less mess.
That, I mean, is definitely, like I said, I love my mechs. I love my big, multi-battery box mods like the Relo.
Very different styles vaping from me and Pete when it comes to regulated things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking for as much power as possible. So, and with as much safety as I can get at this point. Like, WizMech puts out some great products. SmockTech puts out some great products, especially if you're looking for some, higher wattage devices. But my daily carry has kind of turned into the Soren products, like the Salt Nick products.
Oh yeah, they're sleek. They're sleek.
And I mean, that's the thing, I try to dress up a little bit for work, suspenders, a button up here and there, so I can't necessarily throw a 3-battery mod in my chest pocket just to meet.
Absolutely. And some people, like they're cool with carrying it around and stuff. Me, myself, I've got these two. I don't have any, I don't have a Soren Air or anything, but I've got like the big, clunky mechanical one, that nobody, and then you've got like the tiny little, and even this, I'd rather have something flat, less tank, less mess like you guys. But it's so funny because you guys are sitting here talking about how you're like, oh, like under 100 watts, and I'm like, I'm like 30s, but then again, you guys are cloud blowers, so you guys like the power. So
just for conversation's sake, right now, my Relo is set at 220.
Whoa! Let's see what this one. Mine is set at 30. So yeah, I don't know about any of that. Mine's set at 30. I've got weak little lungs, but I you guys, you got to keep practicing, and you guys do the competitive thing, so it makes sense that you guys are trying to expand it a little bit more. Speaking of like Sorens and stuff like that, I actually had a question. If you guys had any recommendations for devices for people who are just starting out, and I know Megan, you mentioned that you end up helping a lot of people in customer service and stuff. So do you guys have any recommendations for people who are novice vapors?
It kind of depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for something, super easy to use, or something like a Soren or something with a pod, me and Pete both have the Soren drops, the Soren Airs. We love those. They do take Salt Nick, but you can get a lower nicotine, of course. But a lot of the customers that I speak with are looking for more of like the box styles, and that's always when I recommend something like, the Smoke AL85, or maybe they want pen style, the Smoke Pen 22, something along those lines where they're kind of...
Even the new, that's one thing. SmokeTech has put out some great stuff.
And a variety.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Baby Bee sticks are great. Yeah. The X Baby stick is awesome. Like I said, I like to push people on the salt products. I think that's going to be the future of vaping. Just the pod system is so much easier. Like when it's done, there's no coil to mess with. You just throw this away.
Yeah.
If you're like a new vapor getting into it, I recommend, my personal recommendation, pick yourself up a Soren product or another Salt Nick product, get a couple extra pots, fill them up, get them ready for the month, and just toss them as they burn out.
Yeah, definitely. I notice a lot more people using those. It's less mess. It's way easier. And I think it's also probably good for people who are used to analogs, because they're probably coming off of so much nicotine. And, the Nic salts tend to be higher up at like in the 50 milligram area versus like a 6 milligram sort of thing. So
that's a big thing too as a new vapor, is understanding your nicotine levels. Like, just because you smoke 2 packs a day doesn't mean that 36 milligrams is going to be right for you. It might be too much.
Especially depending on the device you use, right? I feel that a lot of people who are switching from cigarettes to e-cigarettes don't understand that. You don't have to get 18, 24, 12 to get that same satisfaction, where if you get something with a little more power, you only need a 6 or a 3 depending on what your body needs.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that if you have extra power, it gives you the same kind of boost as a lower pull, higher nicotine level. Makes sense, though.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, it's, the amount of nicotine per volume. So, on my drippers, I run 3 milligram. In my, tank setups, I run 6 milligram to 12 milligram, depending on the juice. In my Salt Nick products, I run 50.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely, a major discrepancy as far as scale.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And on that note, since we're kind of talking about new vapors and stuff, and you guys have been around, you guys are the OGs, do you have any advice, tips, tricks for people who are watching our channel right now, or maybe watching later on in the future, that you could give for people starting out?
If it's your first time vaping, your first week is going to be the hardest, but stick to it. I promise it gets easier. Your first week is just going to be horrible.
Don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, just because the guy next to you is running a mod that's twice the size, or he's got a dripper and you don't know what that is, ask him. He's been there. Yeah. Trust me, if he's using that kind of device, he's used what you're using. No one comes out of the womb throwing back
yeah, on the day they're born, like. That's hilarious.
Like, but we've all, had trial and error, so always, seek out some help. We're happy to help you. I'm sure anyone who's any kind of vape expert.
And if you don't have anyone that vapes, around you, the forums online now are great. So if you have any questions regarding, my mod's not hitting right like it did yesterday, why? If you are not able to contact us, we'd love to help you. But you can always go on a forum or, go to your local vape shop and just see if they can help you a little bit, because it's always better to know than to question it and quit.
Absolutely. And I think that that's a huge problem with a lot of people, that they just get so frustrated because they don't have guidance to buy the right device, or they do get the right device that maybe isn't the level for them, but they don't know how to use it, or it breaks, or something goes wrong. And instead of, it's great that I feel like it's great that we live in a world where people can kind of go and ask. Because with your guys' kind of coming up in the vape, it's like you guys had to work at it. Like, you must have loved vaping, because I don't know how all the upgrades and kind of like becoming own mechanics in your own right. Whereas now, like you said, people can call in, they can go to forums, they can go to vape shops, they have all that disposable to them. So I think that that's great. I think it's great that that we have, the internet now to help us with this in tutorials. Right. Any other tips and tricks for anyone, or advice for people? Yeah,
always, just remember, the plus sign is positive.
Yes.
If your mod is reverse, make sure you put the batteries in the right way. Measure twice, cut once. Look at everything twice before you put your batteries in. That's the biggest mistake I see new vapors making, is throwing their batteries in upside down.
And then they're like, it doesn't work?
Or in some cases, you run into a battery malfunction, dual battery failure, which in layman's terms means the battery's bent.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
Or if you're going to use something with the batteries that you take out and charge externally, make sure that whatever batteries you're using are either charged together at the same charging level, or, better yet, they're married. They don't go on any other devices except for together.
Battery safety is probably the biggest tip. Learn your... Ohm's law isn't necessarily as important as it used to be, because the tanks are easier, you change the coils yourself. Mods are much safer than they used to be, but battery safety is a must. Check your battery wraps, check your battery terminals, check your mod terminals. Yes, absolutely.
Could you repeat that, Megan? Make sure.
Your insulators, on most batteries, this is an 18650, for example, that little black ring in there is your insulator, and you need that, because if you don't have that, it's going to make a straight connection 24/7 instead of when you push your button, it's just going to make a connection, like Pete said in layman's terms, it can vent. So just make sure your batteries are solid. Any questions? There's tons of battery forums online. Tons.
Battery Mooch is a great resource for.
Oh yeah, Mooch is awesome. Hopefully we can get him on the show sometime to talk about battery safety in depth, because I think it's so important. But definitely, I would agree with that. Battery safety, 100%. The safety first on everything, on DIY, on batteries, on everything. So for those of you guys who are watching, I'm going to take this opportunity to just pause for a moment and reiterate about the giveaway. For those of you guys who are watching, we are doing a giveaway in an hour and 15 minutes. Oh, I think I lost you guys for a second, but we're good now. Solid. Got it? Awesome. We're good, guys. So we're doing a giveaway at the end of the show around 7:45, and we're going to have two winners. Winner number 1 is going to receive Pete's favorite eJuice, a bottle of his favorite eJuice, and his favorite mod on our site. And winner number 2 is going to receive a bottle of Megan's favorite eJuice and mod on our site. So guys, why don't you tell everyone what they're going to win?
Okay.
So I'm going to be giving away a Smoke AL85. It's great for someone who's experienced or also a bottle of Jam Monster.
Ooh. Nice.
And I am giving away a Soren Air V2. One of the newer Solnick devices. It's actually got one of the bigger pod systems in it, along with a bottle of Salty Man eJuice in 35 milligrams. So get yourself started on the vape mix.
And what's the flavor of that Nick Salt?
That flavor that we went with, my personal favorite is the Loops flavor, but I went with something a little bit fruitier for everyone. We actually went with the Pink Chew.
Ooh, very nice. Pink Chew. So you guys, winner number 1 and winner number 2, you guys are going to get those. And be sure to stay until the end. We will be drawing at 7:45. And if you guys aren't here and we announce in the live chat, we're like, hey, here are the winners, and you're not here to say, hey, I'm here, I'm present, then we're going to have to invalidate that and move on to another winner to be fair to the people who are in the chat and who are continuing to watch the show. So if you are watching and you've entered the giveaway, be sure that you're back in the chat around or before 7:45 because we're going to be announcing the winners then. And I want to make sure that all of you guys have an opportunity to win. So thank you guys again. Like I said, these answers have been awesome, and I'm sure that there are a ton of people on here who really appreciate the tips and the tricks and stuff. It's been, even for me over the past year, a very arduous learning process. So it would have been nice if I had a live show to pop into that was this extensive. So thank you guys for giving such excellent answers. I would love to shift the conversation a little bit away from kind of the history and evolution of vaping and new vapors to you guys and how immersed you really are in not just this industry, but culture, I would say even. So can you guys tell us, you guys now, you do competitive vaping, competitions and all that stuff. So can you tell us a little bit about that, who those are targeted to, how one would get involved with a competition like that?
So there's usually 2 types of competitions. There's a trick comp, which is pretty much when you do like the O's and all the fancy hearts and triangles, all the stuff that you see on Instagram that I have no clue about.
Oh, there he goes. I didn't even mean to say, oh, ironically. Go on.
Something like that. You can pretty much use whatever you want to compete with. And you usually get a 45-second round. The winner usually gets money, which is nice. And then there's the cloud blowing, which is you pretty much want to go back to back against someone and to see who can blow the biggest cloud possible at a count of 5. And then whoever wins that usually gets money or a new mod. Usually whatever the newest on the market is what you're going to get. And I feel like those are mostly aimed towards people who have been vaping for a while and someone who really just wants to get immersed completely. Usually you use mechanicals, but there are outlaw comps where you can use like boxes or, lower wattage, higher wattage and lower resistance and stuff like that. But who do you think's in the vape competitions? Like what kind of people?
It tends to be the hobbyists, people who are, builders, trickers, people who want a little bit more out of vaping or who are just trying to meet more vapors, honestly. Vaping is cloud competitions are a great place to meet other vapors and kind of share knowledge.
And you definitely don't have to go. If you're not going to compete, please come. There's always food.
Ooh, food. Girl, say no more. I didn't know this.
We always say the vape industry is kind of a cross between the car scene and a little bit between the music scene.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
There's always DJs at cloud comps. It's always a good time. Here in Vegas, there's an open container policy, so there's a little bit of partying going on.
Very cool.
Traveling around to different cloud comps, it's interesting to kind of see the cross section of vapors in different cities.
Yeah, and it's very different. Like when you even go to California to a vape competition, it's very different. The whole atmosphere is different. Not that it's worse or anything. It's just it's a very different set of people who have very different interests and who gets along with who.
Yeah, and we both have opportunities to compete all over the country. Yeah. Meet different people at different walks of life, all in the vape industry, and that's the one thing that I think cloud chasing, tricking, kind of the hobbyist side of it really touches on in the vape industry is the community side of it.
Yes.
Vaping, if you have nothing else in common with someone except vaping, you can be best friends with them. You can end up lifelong homies.
Yeah, I met my best friend through vaping. I met my boyfriend through vaping, and I would have never met them without vaping. So you can really meet a lot of cool people that you would never have the chance to meet except for a vape competition or an event or anything like that involves vaping somehow.
And that's amazing. It really, I mean, it's already such a community on its own outside of that. Now you have an event that's literally dedicated to it with tons of people coming who are extremely passionate about it. I could see how it would be very easy for people who have the same sort of hobby to become friends in that situation, especially if it's, you know, it's fun. It's an event. Everybody's there to meet new people and they're all passionate about the same thing. So I think that that's great. So
it's huge. I mean, and you never know. You can fall in love at a CloudCon. I met the love of my life, my wife, at an event.
You did too, Pete? I knew Megan did, but I didn't know about you.
We were planning an event. She was doing some work for a company that was hosting the event, and they had brought me in as a host for the event, and we got to know each other. I helped her change her cotton, and here we are.
And the rest is history, right? Yeah. And now she's Mrs. Mills. That's amazing. That's an amazing story. That's what people want to hear, like that's...
And this is my sister, not my wife.
Yes, for all of you guys who are watching. Megan and Pete are brother and sister, which just makes their whole competition, their whole look, their whole everything so much cooler. You guys have, like, the aesthetic. You guys are siblings. You've got the whole thing going down, so... it's just funny that you guys say, for these people, like these competitions and stuff, that it's like different with region to region. So would you say like that has to do with people's hobbies? Like the people in California are like, oh yeah, I went, longboarding on the beach, versus the people in Vegas were like, oh, I went downtown this weekend and like saw people dancing at 3 a.m. and like.
The vibe of the person definitely goes along with the competition style. I mean, you can attest to this. I competed with people from New York, Jersey, Texas, California, Georgia, all over the country. The guys from Texas, they want big wire, big mods, big claps.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything's bigger. The New York guys, everything's faster. The counts faster, they hit the mods faster, they build faster. The California guys, they're more about like the technique. They developed the push. I got to give San Francisco credit. They gave the Cali push. Nothing on the Vegas lean, but...
Even like I flew out to North Carolina a few years ago. It was my first time ever traveling out of state for a big competition. And out there, they're just so relaxed that like their count is slower. Everyone's just more hanging out. You take longer time to get ready. Where I feel out here, it's very structured. And out there, it's just very calm, relaxed. Everyone's like, oh, hey, like, let me fix your mod for you. Where out here, it's more of a competitive end of it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Vegas is a little more cutthroat out here.
I don't want to say the best pod chasers because I don't want to, like, upset the rest of the country. We've got some of the best in the country, and I would be willing to put our top 5 in Vegas, whether you include Megan and I in that or not, up against the top 5 anywhere else in the country.
Wow.
We got that high-altitude desert air. We got a lot less to work with than most people.
That's true. And you don't have the moisture or anything. It's so arid and dry here, too.
It has a lot to do with the style of pod chasing. Like, you'll see a lot of people from the West Coast have a slower push. They kind of let their cloud hang there for a second.
Yes, I have noticed that. Is that a moisture thing, or?
On the East Coast, they push, a lot harder right off the jump. They go for that real distant cloud because they have the moisture in the air, and the cold air holds the cloud a lot better.
Wow, I did not know that.
Hey, if anyone from New York wants to come out, test out what these Vegas boys have to offer, and we'll show you what's up.
Hey, back Easters. My parents are in New York. Where are you at, Mom and Dad? You guys want a cloud blow? Just kidding.
West Coast.
I mean, they are ex-smokers. My dad did start vaping, but he was like, he was on like the blues back in 2012. So.
Hey, it's still something.
Yeah, definitely.
I still use the single link every now and again.
Yeah. Just for the hold, just for the.
I honestly, I kind of miss smoking.
Yeah. I mean, that's okay though, as long as you're not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm far too immersed in fitness and vaping at this point ever to think about picking up another analog.
That also kind of brings up a good point though too for new vapors. You're never gonna feel the same hit as a cigarette. It's always gonna be different.
Absolutely, that's something that no one ever tells anyone.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
When I first started vaping, I definitely thought it was going to be, this is going to be like a direct alternative for cigarettes. And it's not, it's different, but you still get your nicotine, which in your body kind of tricks it into thinking you're doing the same thing. But like,
which is what most people are looking for.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I was demonstrating. There was the hand-to-mouth fixation of it. Like, you can pop this in the hand of a smoker, and they won't even realize that they're not smoking a cigarette after 2-3 puffs.
Oh, yeah. The hand to mouth thing is insane. I bet. And I'm sure once you just replace it with something else, it's like I remember when both my parents smoked for like, I want to say over 30 years. And when my mom quit, she would be looking in her purse for something for like 20 minutes. She'd be like fumbling around. And I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, I'm looking for my Oh, nothing, just kidding. And then it got to the point of where she would have to keep lollipops in her purse and then put those because she needed something to hold in her mouth because she was so used to having an analog there. So I think the hand to mouth fixation thing is definitely super helpful.
And that's where vaping comes in. I mean, you still get your nicotine, you still get your hand to mouth fixation, and vaping is 0 calories.
Oh yes, yes. I'm sure that when people go, to grab the Snicker bar or the Snicker juice, they're probably going to think twice about the bar before the juice.
I'm a huge gummy candy fanatic.
Yeah.
Like, I would sit there and eat a 10-pound bag of Sour Patch Kids. That's, that's my jam. So I tend to lean towards those type of flavors when I get those kind of hankerings.
Yeah, definitely. That's great. That's great. So now we're going to get to, I'm sure a couple of people in the chat have been waiting for this. So there seems to be a little bit of a stigma around cloud blowers and vape competitions and all that good stuff. And in vaping in general, I think everybody in the chat, everyone here, we can agree that that vapors are stigmatized for sure. It's getting a little better. Now it's kind of a little more playful, a little more joking because it is so widely accepted nowadays. But there is this stigma that, cloud blowers and people like that tend to be obnoxious or blow in your face when you're out in public and, that whole thing. Yeah, that perfect example. Perfect example. Well, what are your guys' thoughts on, like, courteous cloud blowing? I know that you guys are pretty top-notch advocates for that. What are your thoughts on that, and how can people become more aware of themselves when they're vaping in public to be more cognizant of it?
The biggest thing I can remind vapors in general, as far as just being polite about it, don't vape anywhere you can't smoke. Don't go walking through Walmart or Target or any of these big box stores vaping. They're not vape shops. They don't sell vape. Well, some of them sell vape products now. They're not vape shops. They don't let it. Most cities don't allow you to vape inside stores anyway. Just because you're sitting outside and you're outdoors, be mindful of who's downwind of you too. Yeah. Like, that's the biggest thing. A lot of people don't know that there is no such thing as secondhand vape. That it is not harmful, but it is a little ominous having a big cloud of vapor
ascend on you out of nowhere.
So I mean, like we said, we both use mechanical mods. We both, blow big clouds. Like, that's what we like to do in the industry. But there's a time and place.
Yeah, I mean, even when I smoked, like, I was a very courteous smoker. I feel like I always kind of stepped in the back of a room, and people think vaping is healthy, which it is. I think it is. But not everybody wants your vape in their face. If they're like, oh, like, hey, let me smell it. Sure, blow it in their face, but don't blow some random lady, like
the little lady walking her dog down the street.
No one cares how good your juice is, except you.
Yeah. And I'm sure that you guys, with the kind of clouds that you could blow, it'd be like this ominous thing ascending upon, like, the person walking towards them.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
It's the same thing, like, I've done it, it's, you get in the habit, like, I get to vape at work, I'm lucky enough to be able to vape at my desk. So I do, I tend to reach for my mod sometimes for checking out at a store. You just gotta remember that it's not your house, it's not where you can vape. Like, just because you can vape 90% of places doesn't mean you can vape at all.
And then don't vape in the movie theater either.
Yes.
I went to some movies the other day, and this big old, like, vape cloud came up. I don't want to see that. I didn't pay $15 to see you vape in the movie theater. I couldn't watch that.
Yeah.
And we're vapors.
And I'm a vapor myself.
Yeah. Or smell it. Yeah, like, sometimes I, like you said, like, sometimes I'll be, like, in the middle of, like I'll be, like, at a restaurant, and I'll be, like, like, right near the door. I'll still be inside the restaurant, though. And someone will blow it, and I'll be, like, about to eat, like, a piece of steak, and then I get, like, a strawberry scent in my face, and I'm like, this is very confusing for me. So.
Stores, mind children, just kind of, if you're going to vape somewhere where, people are smoking too, kind of step in the back, step out of the way, because even though they're smoking cigarettes, you think they should vape, they're not. So keep your vape to yourself, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, just be polite. Like, the same thing, like,
of course.
We sneeze into our arms and into tissues for a reason. Like, you should vape cognizantly for a reason.
And if you're going to vape in public, blow it down. Don't blow up, because then
Oh, yeah.
If there's 2 sitting right here, we're open to challenges.
Yes, and you know that's a great tip too. Blow it down. Like a lot of people don't know that.
We're not telling anyone how to vape. Like, I mean, you get it. The coils, they throw bigger clouds than they used to.
Yeah.
Just,
be courteous. Yeah, like sneezing into your shoulder. Exactly. So I'm going to take another opportunity to pause and remind everybody about the giveaway once again, since we have about an hour. So for all of you guys who are watching, we are doing a giveaway at 7:45, and winner number 1 will be receiving Pete's favorite flavor and mod, which we're going to go over in just a second once again. And winner number 2 will be receiving Megan's favorite flavored eJuice and mod, which we'll be going over again in just a moment. So 7:45, you guys, an hour until that giveaway. If you have not joined, please do so. It's underneath this video, the link. I'm going to go ahead and pop it in the chat as well. And if you guys are not present at the time of drawing, we will have to invalidate your entry. So if you guys enter and then you leave the live show and you're expecting us to email you, it's not going to happen, you guys. So what we need you to do is be here in the chat at 7:45. And when I'm like, hey, here are the 2 winners, be like, hey, I'm here inside of the live chat so we can timestamp it and know that you are here. Because if not, then we're going, yeah, exactly. Arm wave, like, I'm here in caps, whatever. Because if you're not here, we do not want to be unfair to the people who did stick around for the end of the show in the chat. So we're going to go ahead and have to redraw if that's the case. So Pete, why don't you remind winner number 1 what they're going to receive? And Megan, why don't you tell us what winner number 2 is going to receive once again?
Well, winner number 1, since I am the firstborn, you're going to be a Soren Air V2. They look a lot like an iPhone, so I want to see some cool hand checks. Please use @PistolPete approved. Throw that in there. I'll repost it for you. And then you're also getting a bottle of Salty Man eJuice Pink Chew.
Awesome.
So for me, since I'm the second born, I'm the baby of the family, second's the best, you know. You're going to be getting a Smoke Ale 85 with a bottle of Jam Monster. You can choose whatever Jam Monster you want because I'm not going to control you.
Any of the flavors, you guys. That's okay. That's the baby thing. I feel you. I'm the baby sister too, Megan. I know what it's like.
Trust me, you'll dig the flavor.
I know. We're just poking at you, Pete. And on that note, actually, I'm going to take an opportunity to show your guys' Instagram again, Instagram accounts again. So I know Pete mentioned his handle, you guys, but if you're interested in following Megan and Pete on Instagram, we have PistolPete702. That is his handle. He is in sales, so if any of you guys are vendors or any, shop owners or something who's watching, feel free to reach out to Pete if you're just interested in following someone who knows what they're doing, who competes and has an extensive knowledge of the industry on a vendor and consumer side. Pete's a great person to follow. So here's his Instagram, you guys. And the handle, like I said, is PistolPete702. And now I'm going to take it over to Megan's Instagram. So her handle is MachineGunMeg with an _, if you guys are interested in following her. And Megan works in customer service, so she's always here answering questions if you guys ever need any help. Even if you haven't bought something off our site or you have a question regarding a mod or a setup or something, she can definitely help you. She's very, very active on the competition scene as well. So feel free to follow her, and she works hard so her cat can have a better life. So you guys feel free to follow her. They're both great people to follow. Both have a lot of information just on those Instagram profiles alone. So I highly recommend that you follow them. So Megan, Pete, if you guys could, can you kind of take us what a day in the life of a competition is? Like when you get there, how do you know it starts? When does it conclude? How long are they usually held for? Are there different competitions? What do the places and prizes look like for those?
I'm a touch of a worrywart. My day of a competition starts probably the night before. I'm a planner. Like I'll get all my batteries charged up. I make sure to try to figure out what kind of the bracket's going to look like before. To know, I try to have at least one battery per round. So I get all my batteries together. I try to get my build practice like before. If it's a build and blow, I'll make sure to have that build down, packed, be able to do it with my hands behind my back, eyes blindfolded, do it with my teeth.
A build and blow is when you have to build your coils on site before your competition.
Most competitions, you can have your coils pre-built, which, I always try to make sure I'm comfortable with my device. I get the cotton fresh. I always come into a competition, whether it's required or not, with dry cotton. That's just how I feel. It makes me feel better. It's part of my process. I polish my mod the morning of and the night before. Again, just part of my process. Everyone kind of has competitions their own way, but when you get to the competitions where all the fun starts, I'll kind of let Meg go into that because I'm usually in the corner preparing.
Yeah, the
Tinkering.
first time, like, he's very serious, just checking his batteries and everything. That where I'm more around, go say hey, get us signed up. So typically, when you go to a cloud comp, they usually start like mid.
Yeah, usually in the evening.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8 around that time. So usually you say hi to all your friends, make sure you're signed up. If there's a buy-in, usually it's like $5 or $10, and then usually when there's a buy-in, it means you get cash prize.
Oh, okay.
You go sign up, you have to have obviously an even number of people for the comp so you can make your brackets. And then, when you're saying hey to everyone, scope out who's there, see who's your competition. And then once you're there, you kind of just wait. They usually do tricks first, which is the O's that he was showing you guys earlier.
Oh, yeah.
They get 45-second rounds. All like the little trickers are so good. They go, whoever wins that gets their prize. And there's usually an air out time. And then that's when we go. That's when the cloud chasers go.
The cloud chasing aspect of it's much different. As you'd imagine, it clouds up the vape shop quite a bit. There are some gnarly guys out there. Cloud kicker Sean, her boyfriend, is probably one of the top cloud chasers in the country right now. I still think I got him. I just got killed a little bit. But he's a great kid. He's a great cloud chaser. So anytime, guys like us go back to back, it fills up the shop. So there's a lot of breaks in the cloud competition. They tend to run a little bit long. Usually the average cloud comp, I don't think we've gotten out of there in less than, 5 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not including like fun, like everyone hanging out. That's strictly like
if you're
Just the
really
comp.
going to be immersed in the cloud chasing industry and going to be immersed in like the cloud chasing aspect of it and going to a lot of events, it's full time. Like for a while there, we were hitting 2-3 comps a weekend. Like
Wow.
We'd have a matinee comp at one of the shops across town. Enter the first competition of it. Get through it, and then end up at another competition that night.
Wow. And for cloud blowers, so when you guys, it's like they count down to a certain number, right? And then you guys all blow. What is that like? Like, I mean, just the lung power that you have to use. How do you guys rev up for that kind of physical output?
a general count, usually you have 3 seconds to prepare. So it'll be 3, 2, 1. Start your inhale. At that point, you start inhaling. So you have 5 seconds to get your inhale in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On 1 or on go, you would exhale.
Wow.
So it's a lot of listening, a lot of paying attention, and trust me, that 5 seconds doesn't seem like a long time. It seems half as long as that when you're inhaling.
Oh my gosh. I believe it.
I see more great cloud chasers go out because they missed the count than actually lost the round.
Wow.
It's super easy when you're going against someone who is like hardcore competition. Like we're in the Vegas industry, we all pretty much know each other at club comp, so you know who your issue is.
Great guys out there.
Or you know who your biggest competition is.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're up there, you're kind of trying to get yourself out of your own head, thinking about like you got this, like breathe, and then before you know it, you're on 1 and you have to push. Right. So it goes by very quickly unless. But lucky for us, he always stands, because I get nerves. He doesn't get nerves anymore. He stands in front of me when I'm about to go, and he kind of just like tells me like calm down, like inhale, exhale. Like
that's great.
I can beat people because I have more of a denser cloud where he has more distance and density, so he always has to coach me a little because I get some nerves.
And that's one thing I really like kind of in this aspect, where I'm at with the competitions. I don't get real jazzed up for the competition aspect of it anymore. I've competed in over, 500 different competitions. I can't tell you how many rounds I've been in, won and lost. Like, I've been through it, the highs and lows, winning the big money competitions, winning the big trophies, losing the big competitions, falling just short. Like, no one should be, disappointed about second place. But when you work, towards something, it's hard.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been there. I've been on, both sides of the spectrum. I really like helping new cloud chasers. Like, her project of it, like, not to give her any kind of, like, she's probably the best female cloud chaser in the country.
Really?
I'd be willing to put up some money.
I'd be willing to also put up some money at the end of the show when I ask Megan to blow us all a huge cloud before we do this giveaway. So Pete, you're selling her out, man. Now she's gotta do it. Now she's gotta do it for everyone.
she makes the guys nervous out here, so.
Ooh, and that's actually an interesting question that I just formulated in my mind based on that. Is there a huge difference between male and female lung capacity? So when it comes to competing,
I would say no. There's a huge difference in male and female interest in cloud chasing.
Okay.
Usually, most of the females that are there are spouses of the guys blowing the clouds or there for the tricks. I'm usually the only female actually in the cloud comps, and back when I first started, there was a few, so we used to have female comps, but now it's usually the guys and Meg.
Man!
It's a lot of really good practice competing with, like I said, like Hers Malicious, Scribbles, Cloud Kicker Sean, me. There's some great cloud chasers out here in Vegas. If anyone's involved in the industry, I know you recognize those handles.
I think we had someone in the chat earlier mention that they recognize your guys' handles. So, I mean, that is insane that you guys can do that, and that you, Megan, are like one of the only female cloud blowers. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing, is like there's a few girls out there that are really, really good, and I put them up against a lot of guys. And that's the thing, is just getting more women interested in cloud chasing. Like, it's not a boys' sport anymore. Like, we're not all, little chads sitting around a computer.
Oh, yeah. No, we've got tons. Look, if you look at the live chat, it's split 50-50 almost right now.
I mean, there's just as many female vapors as there is male vapors. Let's just get some more girls involved in the competition.
Yeah, that'd be amazing, because, I mean, even when you go to trade shows, I don't know if you've ever been to a trade show or not, most of the people walking around are men, and a lot of the females are working the booths. It'd be nice to have, more females actually engaged in not the internal end of it, more of the external, where, like, the consumer is, and actually want to go to those trade shows and go to the competitions, really get involved, because it's kind of lonely being the only girl.
I believe it. I mean, not cloud competitions, but I was the same thing. I used to run in high school, and the 2 mile was all men and me. It was a co-ed race, but none of the girls ever wanted to run the 2 mile. So it was literally like all of the men, except in running, men run faster. So it really was like terrible, because I was like, damn, I can't keep up with like 5-minute miles. But but no, I get that. I know what that is, and you're just like, if there was just like 1 or 2 more just to even things out, that would be.
I'm a stark feminist. I think makes you better. So
that's fantastic.
I definitely don't mind going against guys. I think it's definitely good practice, especially from when I do go out of town. I've had such good training with all the guys here, so I feel like when I go out of town, like when I went to Texas, everyone in Texas was really impressed, because I didn't want to join the female comp. I did the men's comp.
Wow.
So I'm grateful to do with the boys, but
Megan will take second in a outlaw or men's competition rather than win a female bracket.
By a landslide, sounds like. Pim, now we got Matt Hancock in the chat saying, whoa, vaping isn't a sport. I would say that if there's competitions and that you have teams, that sounds like a sport to me. So
there's a lot of training that goes into it, believe it or not.
That's actually my next question. How do you guys pick your teams? Like, how is a vape team formed?
There's a couple different ways to pick a vape team. Honestly, that's the hardest part about picking a vape team. It's like making a band. You gotta have a bunch of guys who get along, honestly. A bunch of gals who get along. However you want to structure your team. You need, honestly, if you're gonna put together the best vape team, and this is some Pistol Pete knowledge that I've, not been able to perfect, but I have the theory.
Yeah, give me the titles too, like what each person does.
Right, you need at least 5 guys. You need at least 5 members on your team. You need a cloud chaser. You need a bomb cloud chaser. Trust me. You need a bomb tricker. You need a bomb social media person, because, trust me, the cloud chasers and the trickers, we have the content, but we don't have the time. So you need someone who's going to manage that. You need a good captain who's going to stay on top of things. I kind of suck. And you need a solid co-captain to keep the captain in check.
Very cool.
I blame her for everything that's happened to my Vegas team.
Oh, that's right, because Megan, you made a switch, right? You went to a different team.
She did.
Are you the captain of that team now? Or co-captain?
Me and my boyfriend on the team out here. It's more, they're based out of Georgia. Their name is Play. So it's only me and my boyfriend out here. So it's kind of a free run for everybody. There's no real ranking, which is something Pete's structure is not about. Where I'm more of an everyone's equal type of gal.
Okay.
But I was his co-captain for 2-3 3 years.
Wow.
About 3 years, and then
and she optimized 2 of those roles. She was our social media expert as well as, social media expert's a broad term. She kept us posting. She was the team mom for sure, and then definitely as far as being a bomb cloud chaser.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just when you're picking teams, you really just have to find a team that you get along with on a personal basis, not just through vaping.
Yeah.
And also a company who has the same interest in vaping as you do. Like I like advocacy. I like females in the cloud game. I like colorful mods. So that's usually how I go off picking, my team. Just something that I fully enjoy.
And as far as like choosing a team, or because ultimately you can't really pick a team to be on. You have to be chosen by the team.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. You had to be chosen. I didn't know.
Absolutely. Like I'm currently the captain in Las Vegas for Rigmod, which is a mod manufacturer out here. I was asked by the owner of the company to be the captain of the team.
Oh, okay.
So that's how it kind of has to start, and then from there, if you want to get noticed by a mod company, only rep the ones you actually believe in.
Yes.
Like, if you believe that Complex is the best mod, run it. If you believe Rig is the best mod, run it. If you believe Smock is the best mod, run it. Period.
Don't just do it for all 3. Pick one that you actually care about. Yeah.
Like, if you're about it, be about it. And that's the best way.
Especially with social media. Say you're repping Rigmod, but you post the Complex or post a TVL. Rigmod is going to see that you are posting other mods, and they're going to lose interest in you. You have to be dedicated to what team you want to be on, or else you kind of just look like you're trying to get sponsored by everyone. So definitely, know what team you want to be on. If that's
where you want to go, if you want to go the sponsorship route, the best advice I can give anyone, rep what you like. Yep. Rep the juice you like, rep the mods you like, rep the builds you like. Be as real as possible, because that's, me and Meg, that's kind of what we always did. I like tattoos. I like punk rock music, so I infused that into my vaping career, if you can call it that.
Yeah, your whole aesthetic, like I said. Yeah. I use the word aesthetic because, whatever. But really though, it is. You got the social down, you've got the name, you've got the team, it's like a whole integrated process of not just personal branding, but it's interesting. You're like personally branding in an existing industry already.
Yes.
So it's like you kind of probably have to walk the line between that. That's got to be really interesting.
Yeah. And I think, the reason me and Pete have had, luckily such a great following from the beginning is because we branded ourselves as the only cloud chasing sibling group. We had, Machine Gun Meg, Tista Pete, the Gun Squad. We branded ourselves as these like alternative sibling, little rivalry that still is at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, really, and that's the biggest difference. Like I always say, like vaping has, because it's so influenced by Southern California.
Oh yeah.
We all know Snoop Dogg said it. California knows how to party.
Oh yeah.
The vape industry is very hip hop influenced.
Yeah.
And I love hip hop. I love NWA, Wu-Tang. I'll throw them out there, but I definitely think being kind of more, I love, like I said, I love punk rock music. That's what I'm really about. So that kind of attitude is what kind of drew me towards some companies. Like Rigmod, their branding is American made. I love that as a proud American.
Oh yeah.
And then like my homie Homeboy OC with the anarchist wire. That's right up my alley. Coming from a punk rock standpoint, that logo.
Oh yeah.
I was all over it.
Yeah. Definitely. So it's like you're matching up your own aesthetic with other people's aesthetic.
Absolutely.
You're branding with other people's branding, and then kind of like marrying the two.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very cool.
It's a chance to watch it. I mean, I'm trying to get on this level. I'm not there yet.
If you don't know, he's very buff and like tattooed. So wants to be.
Yeah.
It's okay, Pete. You can show him the gun show for a second. It's fine. You can flash it if you want. There we go. So for everybody in the chat who's watching, we now have 40 minutes to our giveaway. So I'm going to reiterate it because I saw a couple of people pop in after 6:45 when I last said it. So you guys, in 40 minutes, we're drawing the winner to our giveaway. Now, winner number 1 is going to receive Pete's favorite eJuice and mod, and winner number 2 is going to receive Megan's favorite eJuice and mod, which we're going to tell you what those are again in just a moment. Just want to reiterate to you guys that as far as this giveaway goes, our terms and conditions do dictate that you have to be in the live chat at the time of the drawing. redrawing and say that you're here in the live chat in order for that to be valid. So if I call your name and I'm like, hey, it's Pete, and Pete's isn't in the live chat and there's nowhere to be seen, then we're going to have to redraw because we want to make it fair to the people who are still watching the show. Now, if Pete says, I'm here in the live chat, then 100% great. He's going to get all his good stuff. So Pete, why don't you tell us what winner number 1 is going to receive again? And Megan, again, please, why don't you let us know what winner number 2 is going to receive?
We're going to flip the script. We're going to go 2 first, 1 second.
Okay.
We're ready. So winner number 2 is going to win a Smoke Alien 85 with any bottle of Jam Monster. It's a great combination. You'll love it.
And as the more structured one of the two of us, you will be getting a Soarin' Air V2, and you'll be getting my favorite flavor of Salty Man eJuice, Pink Chew.
Very nice. That's funny. So Pete's the structure and Megan's the free spirit on eJuice and team building, I see.
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome. So my question to you guys, I know that you mentioned a few of them, but if you guys have any names you want to drop, now is the time. What are some other vapors, cloud blowers, I mean, anybody in the industry that you guys personally admire being around as long as you have been?
Cloud Kicker Sean.
That's my boyfriend. It's
Hey, if he's a cloud blower, hey, that's the question, so.
He wants to bring him on.
Can I bring him on?
Yeah, you can totally bring him on. Surprise guests. We love surprise guests.
You guys will see this guy at the competitions. Again, I will put some money up if anyone can take this dude down.
All right, let's
He
see
is
him.
a monster.
You don't have to say anything. Just come on.
Hello.
Hello.
And what was your handle again?
Cloudkicker_Sean.
Okay. You go ahead and spell it.
CLOUDKICKER_SEAN. SEAN. And that's what
I think I have you. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pull up your Instagram right now.
Oh, we're going to show off your
Yeah.
Instagram.
All right, this is totally you right now. So there you guys go. It's Cloud Kicker Sean, you guys. And here's his Instagram. And he's another one, you guys. So like you can see some videos of him doing tricks. And I see you're do you work at Vapetasia then? Did he work at Vapetasia? So I see a lot of his stuff is Vapetasia. So you guys, if you're a fan of Vapetasia, he cloud chases for them. So if you guys want to check him out, cloudkicker_Sean. But definitely any other ones you guys want to throw out there? Anybody you want to throw a bone to?
You got a whole list of homies. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I always got to show love to Battery Mooch. You know, he does a great job putting out accurate information about batteries. Got to throw it out to Homeboy OC, you know, one of the first great builders in the game, really innovated a lot of stuff. Got to throw it out to Grim Breen, great reviewer, super cool guy. If you guys haven't met him, he's a great guy. You know, there's probably a whole list that goes on. Throw it out to some of the OGs like Rick Trippers. Like,
I'm just really grateful for the local OGs that we have. I feel like we all grew a lot together, you know. Shout out to Brian and Paige, Curtis, Richie, all of our OG people.
If anyone remembers the OG cloud chasing teams like Legion of Plume or, you know, the Ohm Troopers, like that's where, I mean, you guys now you can thank those two sets.
Wow, so they were like the grandfathers of cloud blowing,
Yeah,
so to speak.
Some of the two original
Godfathers.
teams.
I've still got my Ohm Troopers tattoo. Like,
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for all the shout outs, you guys. I don't know if any of you guys in the chat, if you want to look these guys up on Instagram, I showed off a couple of handles while they were talking, but if you guys want to look any of them up or you want to, you know, fast forward or rewind through this after the fact to see who those are, feel free to do so. So let's talk about Vegas, actually, and OG Vapors in Vegas, since we're all Vegas folks here. You guys now, you grew up in Las Vegas, correct?
yes, we did.
So I also grew up in Vegas. I mean, I was born here, but, you know, like raised from 5 and up. So talking about Vegas specifically and even talking about kind of the variations in regional vaping, we're both located out here. So what was the initial vape environment in the city of Las Vegas right around the time when it started booming? And when do you feel like it really became more of like an acceptable daily occurrence here?
Luckily enough, in the city of Las Vegas, vaping was openly accepted by the public. We're a smoking city. You can still smoke in all the restaurants. You can still smoke in all the bars. So vaping was just another set of smokers. So we really didn't catch a lot of flack until vapors started bleeding into the rest of the stores and vaping. But as far as the competition scene in the beginning, from when I got into it, it kind of seemed like it was full-blown ramping here. Like I said, vaping in Vegas was heavily influenced by California and Southern California specifically. They've been doing cloud competitions out there, since 2010. Probably.
Wow.
So there was definitely some, California-based companies that came out to Vegas and really kind of set the bar for competitions. And I think with Vegas's fast-paced nature and, kind of the love of competition that we have here in Vegas, whether it's, with our multiple sports teams now or our awesome Golden Knights, we really love competition. We really love like the big prize show comp. So Vape Capital was a huge influence on the vape cloud chasing industry, and they actually held their most recent finale here in Las Vegas to give away multiple checks for 10 G's.
Wow. Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah, I think in that competition, don't quote me 100%, I think they gave away over $50,000.
Oh my God. And when was this?
This was just back in 2016.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
God.
God.
There's been big comps since. I know, Sean competes in a lot of them all over the country. Competitions are out there, guys. There's money to be made.
Wow. Oh my God. That was like some Mills powers going on between you guys. That was crazy. That's like...
There's social capital.
If I could just take that clip and just like summarize this entire show with you guys saying the same thing at the same time, that would be amazing. Like, I'm just going to be like, oh, in case you missed the show, this is essentially what it was. Them being on like the same wavelength the whole time. But I want to hear a little bit more about your guys' personal journey. So I know that Megan kind of talked about this a little bit on our last show, but if you could kind of reiterate a little bit for the viewers here, what did you guys are so immersed into the vape world, you work with it, you have it outside of work, it's your friends, and even you like you said, your boyfriend and your wife, you guys met them on this circuit. What did you guys do before you got into vaping? Like, what were your careers, your like hobbies, all that stuff prior to getting into this industry? I always love hearing about kind of people's like origin stories. So, Pete's hiding something. I see it with that smile.
I worked a boring ass desk job before I got into the vape industry. I was in the mortgage industry. That's kind of where I got my sales chops a little bit. That's also where I developed some ability to speak to people face to face. So that really helped in the vape industry. But my true origin story lies in music. I, was in a touring band in my high school career, and we played a ton of shows, got to travel a lot, and played a lot of really cool expos because we were a ska band, so we got to play.
Ooh, ska band.
Yeah. So that kind of is what led me really into like the trade show aspect of the industry, like the travel side of it. I really love meeting new people. So that's, I guess, my origin story. You can call me bringing the next man, I guess.
Mine is I worked at a zoo. I took care of wildlife animals for a very long time, and I also have a background in photography. Of course, customer service. But my true love is animals. That's really what I love doing. If I could somehow incorporate like animals and vaping into one, like a rescue shelter that also sells like vape products, that would be like my dream.
So dog days is something.
Honestly, yeah. We've done a sale for all of you guys who are watching. We did a sale in August. I think it was August 25th, I want to say. And it was the Dog Days of Summer sale, and we had Tank, our one of our company dogs, kind of plastered all over the place for that one, and we raised $10,000 for the ASPCA out here in Nevada. That would be so cool if you could, though. And then imagine if you could work in your photography aesthetics too. Like, you've got this big like boa snake, like you're doing like the Britney Spears thing, and then you've got like a bottle of eJuice in one hand.
Let me challenge some local shop owners who are watching that. Let's put together a competition. Reach out to me. I'll post it. I'll put it together. I'll set the bracket. and let's donate the buy-ins to something having to do with animals.
That would be awesome. That would be amazing. We could have a competition on like the craziest exotic animal vape photo or even animal vape photo, something fun. Maybe that would be great. Okay, Pete, we're going to work on this. Anybody of you guys who are watching right now, go ahead and send an email out. You know, you could send it to us. You could send it to Pete. Pete, you want to give them an email to send it to if there are any shop owners watching?
Feel free to reach me at Pete, so Pete .mills, MILLS, at eCigDistributors.com.
Awesome.
That's ECIGDISTRIBUTRRS.com. I spell it every day on the phone.
I know. Whenever I say my last name, I say it the same way too. I reiterate it. But guys, if anybody's out there watching and you're a vendor or you're somebody who wants to get in on this competition, we're dead serious about this. So definitely get in on it. So you guys, I would love to hear about what you guys think is the biggest challenge in the vape industry aside from regulations. When it comes to the competition, the competitive side of vaping and stuff, what's the biggest challenge that you guys run into?
Education. Yeah. Vapor education, consumer education, non-vapor education. You can't know enough about the industry you're involved in. You can't know enough about the product you're using. You can't know enough about what you're taking into your body. And you can't know enough about how to do it in a polite manner. It's just more education is always the biggest obstacle. People who have an issue with vaping don't know what it is. People who have an issue with competitions don't know what they are. People who have an issue with, their device not working is because they don't know.
Yeah.
So definitely education is the biggest hurdle in this industry.
Yeah. I think that also leads into the stigma like we were talking about earlier, is because people don't know.
And that really, honestly, education even leads into what you mentioned, Tina, being the regulations. Our policymakers don't know. They don't know. They are asking, big pharma and big tobacco. They're not asking the right people.
And that also leads into another topic. If you guys, advocacy is a super big thing that we need right now.
Yes, that was my next question. Please.
Local legislation, even send a tweet to the president right now. Just kind of let everyone know what vaping really is and your side of the story. Don't let, the commercials we see on TV about vaping and children getting hold of e-cigarettes. Really let them know that, not a bunch of young, hood rat kids. It's people of all walks of life that are just trying to live a healthier lifestyle.
Absolutely. And I think that stigma is the problem, that people get an image stuck in their head. They don't actually go to the competitions. They don't actually have people like you guys telling them what happens at those competitions. They just have the stigma of the person who was walking in front of them and blew the cloud in their face. So I would 100% agree with that. And as far as advocacy, you guys know that that's a huge topic on this show, and that we're always kind of looking for the best way to get people involved and recommendations. So yes, I'd say 100% getting involved. If you guys have any commentary on how you guys have personally advocated in the past or any other tips on how people can get involved, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm lucky enough to work at a company that's huge on advocacy. eCig Distributors, eJuices.com. We're big about it. We have people coming in all the time. Yeah. We have huge legislators coming down, congressmen, senators. So I got to, throw it up to Billy for taking those meetings and meeting with those people, because that makes, me as a vapor a lot more comfortable that there's going to be a future. Mm-hmm. Personally, I'm heavily involved with Not Blowing Smoke. So if anyone wants any information on that, please feel free to reach out to me via the email or my Instagram. I'll put you in touch on how to get involved with that. I'm also a big advocate for Safado, so please, I can put you in touch if you're a shop owner. Absolutely.
Those are two of the biggest advocacy groups that are doing good for vaping, because a lot of them are doing a good job, but they're not going to the offices and going to actually sit down with the people and driving 6 hours to go up to Carson to sit down and protest outside and really get a conversation going, versus just the forms online are great, submit your little requests, write the emails, write the letters, but actually going in person is what's really beneficial. I know a lot of us vapors have full-time jobs and we can't always make it up there, so backing those companies who are actually doing the footwork, a little help is definitely one of the big ways to even just get into advocacy.
Right. And it just, even as much as it's just a statement of vaping isn't smoking, or, just little statements like that, just, people use their social media for a lot of things, feel free to use it for something positive, even if it's not vaping. Vaping led me into a lot more positivity in my life. And it's a healthier alternative. It'll make you make, more positive decisions, and positivity leads to more positivity.
And you never know, exactly, like you never know where anything's going to lead. I'm sure that Megan wasn't aware that you were going to be led into finding your wife, or that Megan was going to find her boyfriend, or that you guys were going to find all these teams and friends. And
absolutely. And you never, our father kind of always gave me a hard time when I was getting into the cloud chasing aspect of it, like spending 5-6 hours a night out and doing this and doing that. He didn't realize, he thought I was out partying, but I'm, realistically making connections that have now led to a, well-established career that I'm very comfortable with.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, here, obviously, you guys met me and I got to meet you, so that's a positive. And here you guys are on the show talking about it with the world. So, I mean, you never know where it's going to lead you. You never know. Even me, I wasn't huge on vaping when I first thought about kind of possibly applying to this job. And then when I did, I saw the community and the people, and I was like, wow. And I never thought that I'd end up in an industry like this, but here we are. And it's really cool to be part of an industry that's so young, that when you do take these steps and you do advocate for it, you're actually making a difference because it is so young. So,
you kind of puts even a little something into it. Like you said, it's young. You're making a difference in today and in the future of vaping, even just by being yourself in the industry. It's making a difference.
Well, I've said it for a long time. We'll look back in 10, 20 years and say, like, oh, I remember when, they were trying to shut this industry down. Now look, it's in every corner store, and you can buy, closed system devices for $5.99.
And that's all just with all of us, kind of sticking together and really proving that what we have is something that is better, and we all feel good, and it's brought people together even outside of vaping, even if you're a hardcore vaper.
Yeah, and not to bring it to a somber tone, but a lot of these brands and stuff have to remember, like, this is a community first. Like, just because you're cruising around in a Lamborghini now, don't forget where you came from. Like,
stay humble.
The corner vape shop, neighborhood guys hanging out.
Definitely. And that's a lot of the guys I've noticed, they all are kind of friends because they really were just guys hanging out before. And I think that there's a lot of groups out there too. I know that Beauty and the Vape, she actually hosted a couple of shows with me way back. She's got Very Vocal Vapors. So Christine, I see you, and I want to let everybody in the live chat know that if you guys are interested in having Christine help you, you can send a video to her about your personal vape journey, and she'll make sure that it's sent over to your representative in the area that you live, so that your message is getting out there. And word of mouth and seeing someone on a screen talk about their experience versus reading a letter is so powerful. So guys, check out veryvocalvapors.org. And another one, I know that I'm going to make this announcement right now, and I don't know the date, and I don't know if you guys heard about this. We were talking about it at work, but we are going to be doing an advocacy show where I and hopefully a couple of other people will be vaping really disgusting flavors like cheese and fish head. And every time someone donates a certain amount of money, we're going to take a poll from one of those suckers. I don't know when, you guys, but in the next month we're going to be doing a live show like this and donating it to like CASA and organizations like that. We haven't fully 100% settled on what those organizations are going to be, but for our viewers, can you guys drop a few of those for them, places that they can get involved in advocacy?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go right to the easiest place, just Google, go ahead and type in Not Blowing Smoke, or Not Blowing Smoke, I think it's .org now. You can also just go in there, and I think it's safada.com. CASA is a great one for consumers.
Those are pretty much the big ones that I can think
really,
of. Or even if you just type into Google, just a quick little search of like Nevada vape advocacy, tons of forums and different publications will come out.
And that's going to be the thing too. You want to support your local organization first and foremost. They're going to be the ones doing the most for your city.
And they're the ones that are going to direct you, like, personally, first and foremost, direct how your vaping experience is. Like, lucky for us, we live...
Yeah, we have a great, the Nevada Association is great. Those guys, there's a lot of great brands involved in that locally here too. They're fantastic guys. I've gotten to sit down and talk to them about what their plans are, and they've got some really good stuff in the works. I can't go into too much.
That's awesome.
Local first, and then, once you did your part and you feel satisfied doing locally, then go ahead and go nationally. And, even if you just tweet, you know, a congressman or a legislator, just be like, hey, this is how I feel. Like the littlest thing can go viral. You don't know, your tweet can get 100 million views. Next thing you know, it's on, you know, ABC and someone's talking about it.
Yeah, you literally never know nowadays.
Not to keep drumming my, you know, free thinking world views, but you know, think globally, act locally. Start small and work your way up.
That's crazy that you say that. When I graduated college, that was literally the theme of our speakers' like whole spiel. It was like the think locally, grow globally or something. And I was like,
Tina, I mean,
I didn't even know that was a saying up until right now because I thought I was like, how does he know that? Okay.
You gotta do it. It's all about it. If you don't kick the first domino over, you never start the thing that creates the chain reaction. And what we're doing in this industry and what we're trying to set forward in the right ways with the right companies is going to be the future of this industry.
Absolutely.
And I think the community pushing behind it will really help. And
absolutely.
Other than the community aspect, just look at how it's probably grown you guys as a couple, your relation. I mean, you're like, not as a couple, excuse me, as a brother and sister, like a relationship. Like I don't have something like vaping with my brother that we can sit down and do competitions with and, you know, like we talk and stuff, but it's not like I'm fully immersed in the same kind of category as him. So even vaping has probably done things for your guys' sibling relationship that, you know, a lot of other people don't have.
Closer. Yeah. Music has always been something that we both agreed on.
We have a tough age gap. We're just about 3 years apart.
Ooh, that is tough.
So when I was 16 and, you know, too cool for school and
I was a dorky little 13-year-old with some round glasses, not knowing. You know, I had my brother, but he was cool and playing shows that I was too young to get into. But then, you know, when I was 18, vaping is what really, you know, aside from music, really brought us to be like best friends. Because I mean, we talk about everything. We even work together. If that doesn't show you how close we are, then
that's exactly what I'm saying, that you guys are so passionate about the same subject that it's like you won't get sick of each other because you guys both care about it. Well, you guys are better than a lot of other people I've seen. Let's just put it that way. But no, but I mean, even that you guys can work together and kind of come together on this topic itself is a lot more than I think a lot of people have with their siblings. So that's also cool that you can hop on and do that sort of thing. And I'm sure that Pete was a, you know, huge inspiration as being the older one and kind of getting into all that. So
now look at
So you guys, I would love to hear about what we can expect from you guys in the future regarding competitions. I mean, is there anything that you want us to know competitive wise going forward? Anything we should be looking out on your social handles?
Definitely within, I mean, everyone's invited to this. Come through. It's going to be a great competition. Some of my buddies down at Alt Zero are going to be throwing a comp at the end of August. At the end of April, I apologize. At the end of April, Alt Zero will be hosting a comp. I'm going to be heavily involved in that. I'll probably even be competing in that. Some great guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be part trade show, part competition. So a lot of really cool stuff to check out. If you've never been to a trade show or a competition, I recommend booking a trip out to Vegas, not only one, to hang out in our cool city, but two, to check out this amazing competition.
It's going to be awesome, for sure.
I will keep everyone posted on social media, and, you know, I'll keep dropping Tina some hints on it as it gets closer and closer.
Yes, yes. And I know that Curtis was actually trying to get a couple of the Alt Zero people on the show, so hopefully maybe before or during or after, sometime around then, we can get them on here to kind of reiterate and talk about that. Aside from like their line and everything, so.
Absolutely, and if you guys ever, you know, if you're looking for a good juice recommendation, I know we didn't talk about it too much, but Alt Zero Just Reds is an awesome candy flavor.
Yeah, it's super good. I'm not a big candy person, but that's definitely a juice that I can vape. It's super good.
Yeah, I think we posted that on our social actually recently. I've tried it. I know that like Curtis loves it, so I've tried it in his office before, but they're awesome. They're good. So we're going to try to get them on. We've got a couple of shows planned out. The nasty advocacy one, not that advocacy is nasty, the nasty e-juice that I'll be vaping to raise money for vaping, I should say, will also be this month.
Interesting to watch.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to smell some of those bases.
Oh yeah, you did. You got it.
Yeah, there was some gnarly stuff in there.
Oh, it's gonna be funky.
I'm excited to see if they let me put something together. I saw some cheddar cheese, I saw some jalapeno, and I saw some sardine.
Oh, But it's like Birdie Bots beans, but like vaping, and I'm a little nervous. So, but it'll be worth it because all the money will be going to a good cause. So pray for me. I don't know when that's gonna be.
Let's just hope they don't let the two best mixologists at eJuices mix up some flavors.
Oh my God, I hope not. You guys, and you have experience with mixing, both of you, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very cool. Can you give some recommendations to DIYers out there about safety and you know the best way to tackle something like that?
In the beginning, make sure you are getting your recipes from a verified form and not some guy who's putting this up for the first time. And make sure that your nicotine, always put less than you want, because you can really get some nasty juice if you put too much nicotine.
Yeah, and always be extra careful if you are making the juice yourself at home. Get pre-made base. That'll be the easiest thing for you. Have the BG already nicked. I would never recommend a new DIYer ever buying nicotine concentrate.
Oh. Yeah. And luckily on our site on eJuices.com, we do have a really good DIY section, and they do have BG-based nicotine, which me personally, that's what I prefer mixing with. Just because your flavoring could be PG, and then all you have to do is add a little bit more PG, and you're set. You don't have to worry about doing your nicotine and then your VG, then your PG, then your flavoring. It just makes it a little bit easier for you guys. And there's definitely some good forms. If you talk to customer service, they can give you some good recipes on pretty much whatever flavor you want to make.
Absolutely.
I would rank that second on the scale of safety. I would say battery safety first, and then DIY safety if you're a DIYer second on what's most important. So for all of you guys who are watching, if you are DIYers, be sure to take the proper safety precautions. You know, Pete and Meg have been doing this for years, but if you're just getting into it, there's a lot of resources. We have resources, forums have resources that you guys can look up to making sure that you're doing it the safest way possible.
I've got a ton of great recipes that I would love to share with the world. So
awesome. Pete, we can publish a blog if you want with some good recipes if you're down for it.
We'll see.
All right, you guys, we might be, I don't want to take Pete's secret recipes, but Pete's he's got some stuff going on. Let's just say he's working on some stuff, you guys. Let's just put it that way. So, so you guys, we've got about 12-ish minutes till the giveaway. So I'm going to reiterate that one more time. And if you guys could go over the prizes once more for all of the people in the live chat. You guys, we are doing a giveaway, so we're going to have 2 winners, and winner number 1 is going to receive Pete's favorite flavor, juice, and mod, and winner number 2 is going to receive Meg's favorite mod and eJuice. So we're going to be doing that at 7:45. Be sure that you are in the live chat. If we call you and you're not here to say, I'm here in the live chat at 7:45, then we're going to have to redraw because we want to be fair to the people who are watching the show and who are sticking around in the chat. So you guys have about 10, 11 minutes if you haven't already clicked on the giveaway link and joined. If you're having issues with it, let us know in the chat so that we can get you entered because we do want everyone to have a chance to win. So Pete, if you could go ahead and tell everybody what winner number 1 is going to receive, and Megan, if you could tell everyone what winner number 2 is going to receive.
Sure. Winner number 1 is going to be receiving a Soren Air V2. It's a great closed system pod device, and you will be receiving my favorite flavor of Salted Man, and it's Chew.
Awesome.
Winner number 2 is going to be winning a Smoke Ale 85, and then also any bottle of Jam Monster. They're all very good.
Awesome. So you guys, like I said, 10 minutes, last chance. Make sure that you're in the chat. If you are popping back into the chat and you were in earlier or something, just make sure that you guys are here around 7:45. So you guys, I've got some wrap-up questions for you and a couple of just fun getting to know you questions before we do the giveaway. But before we get into those, Megan, I would love to see one of your clouds that Pete has been bragging so much about. So if y'all could like clear the screen and if Megan can get like a solid shot across, I would love to see that. I'm sure that everyone would love to see it.
We can make this happen.
Let's see.
The last time I said no, what are you doing to me?
I know. And then I had you on the live show again, and I had to take the opportunity. So, all right, you guys, we're going to get some of these. Thank you, Pete. This is awesome. All right, you guys, let's check it out. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, my God. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. I need you. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Megan. That was.
Oh, Pete wants to do you guys.
Oh, okay. Pete's okay. Well, we got to get both of you guys. That's right. I just had to get you because Pete was bragging so much about how you were the best in the country that I just had to see. All right, Pete. Let's do this. Let's see yours. All right. Let's see what Pete's packing. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Oh. Oh! You guys are crazy. I can't do anything like that. I think I got like a. That's it. That's what I can do. So thank you guys for that. That was awesome. Thanks for showing everyone on the chat and everything. I know people are they're all, oh, everybody's saying Megan won. We'll see. We'll see. They said my girl Megan won. Jackie Hadley's in here defending your honor. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Tina's about to cry. It was so amazing. Yes, I am. I showed you guys. You guys didn't see, but this is like the extent of my cloud blowing. All right, this is my, ready?
All right, come on, Tina.
That's it. That's it. That's what I got. That's what I got for, yep, I need the Soren. That's what I got. Oh, you can do it more with that. Let's see. That's essentially what I'm packing, you guys. That's why I'm not in cloud blowing competitions. That's why I sit here and do social media instead. So, so you guys mentioned that, I know that you say you have a lot of friends and family that are into vaping, but did you guys actually convert any friends or family into vaping?
Yeah, Megan definitely has quite the repertoire of people she converted into vaping.
My best friend growing up, I've known her since I was 13. She was a 2-pack-a-day smoker. She moved out to Vegas with me, and I told her, you can't live with me for smoking Marlboros. You got to start vaping. And I got her vaping about 5 years ago now. So
wow.
She's my most proud one because she actually started comping too. So it's nice to have, especially someone like you got vaping. And then, of course, working in shops over time, I definitely got some people into vaping. Yeah, that's probably my most favorite person that I got going because they actually stuck to it.
That's awesome. And not just stuck to it, but like became competitive with it. What about you, Pete?
Definitely my most proud moment is definitely when I can convince older people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People have been smoking for 30 plus years.
Right. Like, both my wife and I vape. Chelsea, my wife, has, her mom was a smoker for a long time, and just recently here, through Chelsea's hard-headedness and, kind of my connections in the industry, we finally got the right product that worked for her, and, so far so good. We'll see how it goes.
That's awesome. Wait, so what was the issue with finding it? Was it just like a taste of personal preference, or?
The mods were too much to deal with. There was too much of an issue having to fill up the tanks, change the coils, and the paint. So finally, when I stumbled across Soren Air, actually is what I got her, and it was just game over. She fills it up once every 2 weeks. So when I go over to cut their other son's hair, it just kind of makes it an easy process. I help her out, help him out.
That's awesome. I love that. I know my uncle was trying to get started on the Kanger, but they gave him an advanced. I mean, I know that that's a simpler setup, but he's completely no idea about where to start. And I'm like, you don't want to start him with a Kanger. You want to get him a closed system or something that's easy, something that doesn't. It's better than a tank, I guess. It's not as much of the coil work and stuff, but I would have rather seen him with a closed system. And again, he was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and just kind of got rid of it. And I was like,
get frustrated.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I have people in the chat requesting that I do the stanky leg, and I'm not one to leave people waiting, so. All right, you guys, I don't think I can, nope, I can't do it. It won't show on camera. Just kidding, I tried. Picture it in your minds. All right, you guys, we got 5 minutes to the giveaway, so I'm going to reiterate it one more time. One more time, you guys. we have 2 winners. Winner number 1 is going to receive Pete's favorite mod and eJuice, and winner number 2 is going to receive Megan's favorite mod and eJuice, which we're going to reiterate for the final time right after this. Make sure that you guys are in the chat. It's only 6 minutes away, so if you're here, stick around. If you just popped in, stay here till the end, because if we draw your name and you're not here to say that you were here in the chat, then we're going to have to move on and redraw to someone who is in the chat just to make things fair. So we're going to do that in the next 5 minutes. So you guys, you have your favorite flavors, but I'm curious about what your palettes are, because you guys, we went from the Nixol, and I know that last week you said you love that vape parfait, Megan, which I actually tried and was the blueberry kind, though. That was, like, delicious. But what are your guys' like, typical palettes that you go for?
Me personally, I don't really get too much into the fruits, just because I tend to get vape tongue from them, so I can't taste them after a while. I definitely prefer, like, the custards and the cakes, the more the desserty flavors. Like last week, I did the vape parfait, which is a yogurt with some strawberry in it. And this time, giving away Jam Monster, which is some toast with some jam on it. I definitely do prefer some of that custard, cakey taste in there, because if it's just all fruit, I can't jive with it.
Yeah.
I'm all over the board. I mean, I like everything. I tend to have 2-3 devices on me at any given time. As far as my all-time go-to, I'm a huge custard fan. I'm also a huge menthol fan. So if any juice makers out there can figure out how to perfect that, you got a customer.
Yeah.
A menthol custard. But
yeah, I know. And you were a big fan of Vapetasia custard back in the days too, right?
Yeah, I'm still a huge fan of Vapetasia's Killer Custard. That's my go-to dripping juice. If I'm in the mood for like a more fruity flavor, I tend to lean towards like Mob Labs, Mob Liquids like PMS. That's a really good one. But I'm all over the board. I like, menthols in my tanks, custards in my drippers, menthols, in my pods, as well as, some, that's where I'll kind of get in the weird flavors like the chocolates and stuff like that is in my salt lick products.
Yeah. Wait, so are you into the chocolate salt nicks or, I guess that's a good question. Do you notice a huge difference between the salt nick flavoring and the regular eJuice flavoring?
Absolutely. I find, and this is my own personal palate.
I'm just Carlting because they asked me to. You guys can keep talking.
You're good. I definitely find that on like the warmer vapes, I prefer the sweeter, more dessert flavors. On the cooler vapes, I like, a lot more of that bright, almost sour fruit flavor. I'm an experienced vapor, not experienced. I'm an experienced vapor. I look for that particular feel.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, and you're looking for like a custardy. Is it most of the time custard that you find, or? I mean, what's the feel that you're going for?
Lately, yeah, custards have been like my crutch. I go through with my morning coffee, my liquidy effects, honey drip. The sweetest custard I can get my hands on. And then as the day goes on, I tend to mild out the juices into more of the fruity, and then I tend to end the nights on menthols.
That's awesome. If I'm dancing, that's just because the people in the chat are requesting it. I don't know. I can't get into menthols. Maybe just because I feel like I'm vaping like a lozenge. But I mean, like I've always, even like back when like hookah was a thing, I didn't like the menthol. I can't do menthol just because it's like I feel like it's cough syrup. But I'm like Megan. I'm more of like a fruity dessert kind of like a strawberry donut.
I was a menthol smoker as well.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then as far as being a musician, like being a singer in a band, like lozenges kind of became part of my routine and getting hyped up, and they still maintain in my routine for cloud competitions. So I think that's my propensity towards menthols. I don't know.
Sense.
Reminds me of a simpler time, I guess.
Simpler times. Do you remember? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Pepperidge Pete remembers. Yes. All right, you guys.
Thanks, Peter. Now I got another friggin' nickname.
Hey, it's okay. Listen, it's like Okay, so you got Pistol Pete, Pepperidge Farm Pete. Man, I don't know. What are the other ones?
I don't even want to go into it.
Pistachio Pete. I'm just gonna start calling you something with a P. Pete. Adjective P. Pete from now on when you walk into the room. I can't make Pete sing, Matt. I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter because it's time to do our giveaway. So, Pete, save by the giveaway. You guys, I'm going to be selecting the giveaway winner in just a moment. If you haven't done so already, this is your last chance. You've got like 30 seconds to enter, you guys, and I want to encourage all of you guys, if you have any questions for Megan or Pete right before the giveaway or after the giveaway, feel free. I know that a lot of you guys tend to funnel out after we announce the winner, so Peachy Pete, someone came in the chat, that's awesome. So
I think I can get who that was.
Yeah, if anybody's got any cool nicknames for Pete, too, feel free to drop that in the chat as well. I'm going to go ahead and select the winner, you guys. So can I get a drum roll from the Mills, please? Woo! All right, you guys. And the winner is... Here we go. Draw winners. Yeah, you guys keep doing it. All right.
I'm a singer, not a drummer.
All right, you guys, we've got the winners, and I'm going to show them in just a minute. So our winners for tonight, and if you are these two winners, say that you're in the live chat right now, because if we don't see you in the live chat, we're going to have to redraw. Adrian R., you are winner number 1. Congratulations. Winner number 1, you are going to get Pete's selection sent over to you. And Eric S., you are winner number 2. Congratulations. Woo! You guys are going to get Megan's selection sent over to you. Please let me know right now that you guys are in the live chat. Eric Stockton, I believe that Eric S. is you. Where's Adrian? Adrian Rodriguez, are you in the chat? Anybody? Let's see. We're going to wait. We're waiting. Is it Rodriguez? Is it Adrian Rodriguez? Into house. Is that you? Let's see. It is Adrian Rodriguez. Is that you, into house? Is that? I'm gonna wait one more minute for the answer. I think we have both winners here though. Woo! Okay, we've got both winners, you guys. Congratulations, Adrian and Eric. Congratulations. We're going to go ahead and ask you guys to email us at ejuicescom@gmail.com, which we're also going to drop in the chat for you guys. Shoot us an email, and tomorrow morning we'll make sure that we get everything sent over to you guys so that you can enjoy Meg and Pete's selections. So you guys, I would love to hear if you guys have any closing thoughts, any last minute comments for our audience. Thank you again to everyone who's participated in the show and to everyone who participated in our giveaway. Anything that you guys would like to say on a personal level about the industry in general, about ECD, anything?
Well, I have an Instagram thing. So when I hit 3,000 followers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway.
Ooh.
To be announced. But let's get up to 3,000 and I will be doing a very nice giveaway, maybe something similar to what I did tonight. But we'll see.
Woo! I'm gonna pull yours up real quick. So there's her handle, you guys, if you're interested in joining that giveaway, MachineGunMeg_.
3,000 giveaway. So, and if you have any suggestions of what you guys would like to see given away, just go ahead and shoot me a DM real quick and we'll go ahead and figure out the full plan of that.
Woo! And Pete?
And I'm not doing any kind of giveaways or anything. I'm not as cool as Meg anymore. But all I can say on a personal note is just, treat vaping the same way you treat the other positive things in your life. Do them well, do them with compassion, and do them positively.
Okay.
So well spoken. Thank you guys. I'm friends with both of you, so this was an amazing show. I truly, truly, truly appreciated having you guys on. It was fun, and I think that you guys gave the audience a lot to think about, a lot of really amazing tips, tricks, a lot of information, a lot of things I didn't even know. So thanks for coming on, you guys. For everyone who's in the chat, thank you for participating. We're going to be doing this same time next week, 6 p.m., and another giveaway, so be sure to join us. Be sure to check out, again, Pete and Megan's Instagrams, which I've linked throughout this video. And if you guys have any questions for the Mills, feel free to comment underneath this if you're watching it after the fact, and we'll make sure that they get those questions answered for you. So,
and then also, guys, if you want to hear a little bit more about like the whole PMA lifestyle, positive mental attitude, please reach out to me on Instagram. I'm more than happy to share the things in my life that have helped me get to the point I'm on.
Fantastic. Thank you guys, and thank you to everyone who participated. We'll see you same time next week, 6 p.m. on Tuesdays, and everyone say thank you to Megan and Pete. Have a good night, you guys.